Thank you, Dr. Neha. Am I audible?
Yes, you are very much audible. Yes.
Thank you all. And it's time to start the international session. Today is the 1807th day of uninterrupted daily webinar of Ifph. Before beginning the session, let's have a silent prayer. Hello, doctors, students of homeopathy, and friends of homeopathy. Today is the 1807th day of uninterrupted daily webinar of Ifph, and I am the moderator of this session. Today, we are having an excellent topic, a discussion on the problems faced by private practitioners. We are having eminent distinguished guests as panel members. Dr. Professor M.K. Sahani, former CCH member, Scientific Committee Chairman, and Chief Coordinator of Ifph. Dr. A.K. Gupta, Founder Director, AKG's Om Vidya Institute of Homeopathy and Allied Medical Science, New Delhi. Dr. Anirban Sukul, Director, Sukul Institute of Homeopathic Research, Kolkata, and Editor, Clinical and Experimental Homeopathy. So we are going to have a discussion on the problems faced by private practitioners. I welcome Professor Dr. M.K. Sahani to start the discussion. Sir, please.
While making a call to Dr. Anirban Sukul, he has not yet joined. So now he's just joining. Let me start now. So you have called me as a first participant, but I am very much happy today to see Dr. Beatrix from Germany here also, our old and regular audience as well as speakers. And it is also that we are seeing the very known faces here. Regarding the problem, I think we all of us are aware of it. And I am very lucky today that this session is the third part of the problem faced by the practitioners. We are the last, I think. So with this, I feel that and today we have the very eminent persons like Dr. A.K. Gupta ji from Homeopathic Medical Association of India, the National Organizations of Homeopathy, and as well as the Sukul Institute's director, Dr. Anirban Sukul. So both represents the two arena, and myself here at the coordinators here for this Ifph scientific session. I feel just Anirban Sukul has just joined. You can make him the co-host, sir, please. Yeah, he has joined now. So we have to see that why these are the problems are there. What are the problems? Problems has got the varied aspect. We individually we have the problems. So I'm not going into the much details of the everyone. I will take only one aspect of it, because taking all the things together we will have it only land into the confusion. So I will talk about the topic. Just I am going to share my PPT, a small PPT, so that we can have a session. Sir, my slides are visible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm taking up the topic of professional identity and recognitions of the private homeopathic practitioners. I have chosen this topic only because Dr. A.K. Gupta is here, and he is very much doing the fundamental work for promoting the homeopathic status of the homeopathy all over the country, I think, especially in the country. And he was a leading personality. So professional identity and recognitions of private homeopathic practitioner is one of the important arena where we must consider and where we must listen into it. Let me tell you the insights. In spite of over 2 centuries, now we have crossed the 2 centuries, and homeopathic is practiced India and abroad. What we see, what is the present status? We have the now. Earlier in our days, we were thinking only we were having only the private practitioners, but nowadays there are the 2 category of the practitioners now: the government officials, government people who are working with the government departments, and they have the well protected. They don't have to care for the earning money. They are being paid equally. But for the private practitioners, It is also that they have to earn the money, they have to maintain the reputations, and they have to do it self. So there is a challenges for the significant challenges for the establishing their professional identity and gaining recognitions at par with the allopathic counterparts. Now, what is this allopathic counterparts? Why this identity? And especially not to me, not to Dr. A.K. Gupta, not to Dr. Binduraj, and not to Dr. Anirabhan Sukul. It is for the juniors, for the beginners who have to face this challenge, how to get recognized with the society and as par with the allopathic physicians. There is a great disparity among the society. They're having more reputations, more respect for the allopathic practitioners, whereas we homeopaths have got a lesser, we are taken as an alternative, or we are the second-class citizens. I say the second-class citizen, not the first-class citizens. Homeopathy has been practiced globally for over 200 years, holds prominent place in India healthcare system, and now with the Health Ministry of the Health, Ayush, which was just established in around 2014, and it is doing a very yeoman task and doing they have tried to improve the practice status of the homeopathy all over the country, and we are now in a position to celebrate the World Homeopathy Day, which is a well organized in India, and now it is being organized every part of India. Despite this, where is the status of the private homeopathic practice? Still a struggle for professional identity and recognitions, particular in comparison to allopathy. Today, I will explore four major issues affecting their status and propose clear, actionable solutions. I'm not going to take up the many aspects together because it will create a long confusions also. So I am taking only the four major issues where we need the actions. And the four major issues are societal perception, legal recognitions, academic validations, and clinical acceptance. In the case of homeopathic practitioners, this identity is often blurred, undermined, or contested despite a growing patient base and historical legacy. How much historical we have, how much historical we are, we have we have proved to be the system of medicines which has done during the crisis created by the epidemic, and where no medicines was there. The first medicines came as a savior for the suffering humanity with the homeopathy. And we have recently witnessed the COVID situations where arsenic was so widely became popular that homeopathy has become on the front line. So we are first is the allopathic. The problem is allopathic dominates the healthcare infrastructures, funding, and perceptions. In the government budgets, you look for the government budgets. What is the ratio? What is the part that they are taking and what we are taking? Homeopaths are not seen in primary care provider, but last resort for the healer. How the patient, when the patient comes to us, and especially for the chronic illness, and hardly we are the first-hand practitioners. The patient or the government or as a last resort, the patients are coming. Then homeopathic doctors often work under underequipped setting with the limited diagnostic rights. The term alternative medicine, this is another stigma for us. We are alternative medicines. It implies inferiority rather than complementary. So we are not the alternative medicine. The government Ayush Ministry is taking prime concern and giving an equal status, but still this is not being achieved. So what is the solution? We have to make a policies advocacy, demand a parity in status, role, and clinical authority through our apex body, NCH, not CCH, NCH was in the past, and Ayush bodies, then Ayush ministry, then referral system, integrate homeopath in hospital-based referral system, then the clinical evidence, this promote high-quality documentations and research to demonstrate results equivalent to a better than allopathy in chronic lifestyle. And then institutional presence, push for homeopathy path in multidisciplinary hospital setup as OPD consultant. Now, in many of the part, as I belong to the Patna, and I see that there is a AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Science institutions, where a separate Ayush Ministry department is there. Very big status is there, and it is holding in the prominent place in the status. At our Kurji Holy Family Hospital, we had like, but what is this? What we feel there working with these hospitals? What we feel, whether this allopathic, our partner allopathic, they have a, they see as a, with the equality or as a second-class persons. So we have to work, make our institutional presence more prominent, and we have to demonstrate. This is important, demonstrating our efficacy, so that they can recognize that this is possible. This is possible. Then second problem is lack of awareness and respect among the public. Public often associate homeopathy with the minor elements or pseudoscience. This is very bad stigma that we have been getting. Policymakers exclude homeopaths from key health initiatives and programs. And young students and professionals experience a lack of pride in their career choice. So the solution is we have to create a awareness campaign, conduct national and regional campaign, showcasing success stories and real case outcome. And I think this is the area, awareness camp, where our association, HMAI, and other organizations can do. Then media collaborations, use television, social media, Instagram, Facebook influence to present homeopathy faculty. Then policy decision. Ensure, we have to try to ensure this, the association can try to ensure our homeopaths are included in panel of the Niti Aayog, NHM and public health conferences. Then educational reform, the NCH is responsible for making an NCH educational reform. So upgrading curriculum with more clinical exposure and inter-system learning to boost the confidence in the confidence and respect. Now, another is the stigma of misinformation by media and the public lobby. The media outlets often promote unverified negative narratives about the homeopathy. The mainstream medical lobby aggressively questions homeopathy scientific credibility without open debate or fair representation. I was working in I heard a doctor, allopathic doctor, that a patient got cancer because of the homeopathy. This type of the rumor, and why this happened? Why this happened? Only because with the law, when the doctor was not able to cure it successfully, they should have referred to the, they should have consulted with the other seniors, but he didn't consult it. And the idea that got created among the others that it is due to the homeopathic medicines. And practitioners constantly face the burden of defending their system. We have to always say, homeopathy is good. You take, and we have to repeatedly say that. These are the problems, the greatest problems we have to. Patient will ask, Dr. Sahab, these medicines will work or not? Are you sure that this will work? Why these questions are being asked? And these questions are not being asked by the to the allopathic doctors. Whether you assure that you have the guarantee that this system will be cured, or whether if I don't get cured, what will be the consequence? We are not responsible for the consequence, and these questions are not being asked by the from the allopathic counterparts. So what we have to do: scientific communications and training. Train homeopaths to communicate clinical results, research, and we as a practitioners, individual practitioners, I say, we must have the clinical research and results and research to be published and shared with the others. Then public relation strategy. We have to establish a media cell in Homeopathic Association. I think Dr. Gupta has taken up this responsibility to respond to negative news and proactively shared positive updates. Then collaboration with the journalist, host press conference meet, and provide accessible homeopathic data to the journalist. Then integration initiative, participate in interdisciplinary CME events to foster mutual respect. Now, another area is not inclusion in the insurance or reimbursement schemes. Most private practitioners are left out of the insurance panel. Ayush coverage under public scheme is minimal or absent. So, patients with insurance prefer allopathic hospitals due to the cashless and reimbursement facility that is not being respected in the homeopathic system of medicines. So, what are the solution? The solution is to lobby for the Ayush insurance inclusion, work with IRDAI to ensure OPD homeopathic treatment is covered in private and public insurance. And of course, our cost is much lesser than the allopathic system of the medicines. And then corporate tie-up, offer wellness package to corporate employee and promote homeopathy in employee benefits plan. Then government reform, ensure that scheme like CGHS, ESIC, and Ayushman Bharat include private homeopathic clinics in their impaneled network. Then standardizations, create uniform pricing, prescriptions, format, and documentation to suit the insurance policy audits. Now, the conclusion is that private practitioners are battling on the multiple front, a credibility gap with the modern medicines, public misunderstanding, institutional bias, and financial exclusion from the healthcare system. But these challenges are not irreversible. This can be reversed. So key point is that strengthen the clinical competency through research, documentation, and continuing education, unify the professions with national and state association taking leadership role, educate the public not just about what homeopathy is, but what it has achieved, and engage with the system not from outside but by taking our right place within it. But these challenges are always not irreversible. We can be. So respect is earned and not demanded. We have to create a respect. This is a good message from STC Hall. So friends, recognition is not given. It is built through the evidence, confidence, and collective voice. It is time for the private homeopathic practitioners to rise, unite, and redefine its identity in modern healthcare. So I think I have come to an end of my presentations, and I thank you all for having a patiently listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
I'm just
excellent presentation, thought-provoking, and the problems faced by private practitioners. The discussion is continuing. We are joining with us is Dr. A.K. Gupta. Let me welcome Dr. A.K. Gupta, Founder Director, AKG Somvidya Institute of Homeopathy and Elite Medical Science, New Delhi. Sir, please.
Well, thank you, Dr. Binduraj, and thanks, Sani, sir. You have already explained everything in detail in a very methodical manner with your slides. that what are the problems, what are the challenges, and what we should be doing, and what the plan should be forward. But I'm going to talk about the practical difficulties as a practitioner. I've been in a private practice for the last almost 48 years. So the practitioner facing the problem, what you have tabled down, is absolutely there. The first and foremost important is when you are in the market, you have a counterpart of your allopathic doctors. They come to you for their problem and for their family members' problem. They take homeopathic treatment. And when any patient of theirs who is not feeling too well with their medication and he asks, can I take homeopathic treatment? And then the very first response comes, if anything goes wrong tomorrow, don't blame us. I cannot say anything about the homeopathy. So this double standard by our modern medicine brethren, the fraternity, is the one very big reason for not letting homeopathy come up as it should have been. Very often we find the patient has come to our clinic after taking consultation and treatment from various hospitals and various this thing. And when we say that we need to treat you as a whole, he finds very difficult to understand because he has been tuned to going to the one specialist and talking about his problem, that medicine is written. He has another problem, he's been asked to see another specialist, then another specialist. So in totality, he goes from, instead of one doctor, he visits 3-4 different consultants. He pays their fees and take the medicines. There he does not have any question, to ask, as Dr. Sani was telling. All the questions are being asked to a homeopathic physician because he is supposed to be a patient listener. And by the virtue of Dr. Henneman's, this blessings, that we need to take the complete history, we need to listen to the patient, understand the language of the patient. That is why we lend our ears to the patient. So he starts taking some liberty. Initially, he finds, I have this problem, why are you asking me these questions? These are nothing to do with this. So we need to explain that also, that we are treating you as a person, as a whole. We are not treating your disease alone. So this is a one practical problem where we need to make people understand the difference between the modality of treatment in allopathy and the treatment in modality of homeopathy. After taking a complete history, and when you prescribe some medication, and then the question, like as Dr. Sani has very well asked, like how much time it will take, what will it do? And then he comes with the reports and then say, Doctor, have you given me the medicine for the cholesterol, my blood sugar and my creatinine? Have all the medicine has been given? So now this is another practical problem where we have to make the people understand that we are not giving medicine separately for the creatinine, separately for the sugar, or separately for the dyslipidemia or whatsoever. Once the patient has been taken, the history has been taken, we analyze his miasmatic background, we go for the constitutional treatment and give the medication. And then the patients, those who have been coming from allopathic hands and they have been taking treatment for days, weeks, months, and years, they expect the result from homeopathic doctor in jiffy, that you have taken the medicine and it should start responding, you should start feeling better from the next dose itself, which may or may not happen. But that is the one problem which, a common homeopathic physician faces. And when he says that, I've been having this problem, chronic problem for so long, but I should at least get some relief so that it makes me comfortable and that I can carry on with your treatment. These are the wordings of patients. Here, homeopathic doctor has to again make him understand kind of a little part of the philosophy and the mannerism of homeopathic treatment and how it's going to work and what we should be expecting. These are the few common problems which we find the patient comes and starts telling us with these issues. The another issue as a practitioner, when you start charging from them, if you charge little handsomely, the very first thing, oh, doctor, homeopathy is not so expensive, it is so cheap. So this criteria also needs to be changed. I have been facing this problem for the last 48 years, and the best part or the worst part, people, those from affluent families who have been coming in the Mercedes car or Audi car, then also they say, Doctor, you are very expensive. And when I tell them, before coming to me, how many doctors you were visiting, they were visiting around 4-5 different consultants, paying fees to each and every consultant, taking medicines from each and every one, and still getting no relief or getting more problem. Then I say, when you come for a homeopath, you are under an umbrella, one umbrella, and you having all those problems, whether you're gastric, whether you're neurological, whether orthopedic, whether some other problem, psychological, they are all being covered under one roof under a homeopathic physician. So why should you have dual standard for, you don't ask any question when you pay 2,000 rupees as a consultation to the allopathic doctor, but if a homeopath takes even 500 or 800 or 1,000 rupees, then you have got a problem. So this, we need to make it understand. And the another thing which is very important for us as a physician, we should unite together, that we should not be easily available. Those who cannot afford, genuinely, we don't mind treating them free of cost. But don't lower your standards because of, this. Because what happens is, when some physicians say they take only 50 rupees for a week and you are asking 200 rupees for a week. So there is a disparity that comes. So they say, don't make yourself cheap. Make ourselves affordable, make ourselves efficient, make ourselves sufficient enough to give the relief. Once we start giving the relief, then patients have no problem. But initially, yes, initial hiccups are there. So this is the one issue which comes as a financial. Then second, our medicines are not being reimbursed. This is another big issue which Dr. Sani has already taken. And allopathic doctors, either they are on the panel or their medicines are being reimbursed by their companies and the insurance. So we need to work hard. And as a matter of fact, from being a Secretary General HOMOE, I am already on my job to bring this thing into the insurance, and we're talking about to take this homeopathy coverage in each and every insurance to some part. And initially, the only thing had been that you need to be admitted for 24 hours. Only then your bills will be reimbursed. But here in our case, we hardly have any facilities of admitting patients for 24 hours. If we have hospitals, they are the government hospitals, private hospitals are not there. Their daycare center would be there, but still they will not be coming under the category of reimbursement. Even this Ayushman Bharat would the category has been, homeopathy has been deprived from there also. So these are the again problem area of ours which we need to tackle, which we need to state from association level and from NCH level, government level also, and the policy matter also. The another thing which comes very often, and we find the skepticism about homeopathy. Every now and then some article would be there that homeopathic medicines were given and he got a liver problem, which is every way far off from the facts. It is nowhere near the correct. But our authorities, I feel really bad and sad, I have been very vocal that we should immediately counter that thing, and we should give a rejoinder from the government sector. I had been doing it personally from my, level, from OVM's level or from the HAMI level, but it does not reach it to the masses. If the rejoinder comes straight away from the NCH or CCRH, then it has got an impact. But when we talk to them, they say, the ministry is going to take an action on that. So there it is something very, very, important point which we are missing, and we have to work very, very hard. I remember during the COVID period time, there was Dr. Guleria has once said that HRCT being done can cause a problem. So next very day, the Radiological Association message was there. It was there in the newspaper. It was there in the TV, and he had to take his words back. So such kind of a reaction has never ever taken from our homeopathic side, which is a very, very big lacuna, which is a very, very big problem, and which we need to strengthen ourselves. There's a time when we must have some kind of called homeopathic spokesperson for this, which is the need of the hour, that we should be, whether it is a national level or the international level, anything coming against homeopathy, something should be talked about and given back to the with a factual this thing. I have written for the Lancet also when it was said that a placebo effect or pseudoscience. So these things need to be carried forward. Dr. Sani has beautifully given all those points in the form of a slides and all that, so I did not need to repeat them. But I would be again telling them, telling us that we have to work hard by putting our case histories, showcase them, instead of just, saying, making tall claims or high claims without substantial proof. We need to have the data with before, after, and with the reports and all that, which can be published, which should be published, and which should be advertised, which should be, used by any and every medium of whether it is a print media or it is electronic media, it is a radio media, it has to be given. We have to be very, very proactive on these issues, that we are able to showcase not only the routine cases. We have been treating some incurable and called rare diseases also with very good results in homeopathy, as I'm doing with a lot of work with motor neuron disease patients, which is considered to be absolutely incurable or untreatable. Good results are there. I'm happy that we've been sharing these things at all platforms. Similarly, all other doctors, those who are doing their very good work in their own clinics, that need to come out. The another issue which a private physician faces is the development by the CCRH or by the research work. It hardly reaches to a common physician. So we have to have developed some kind of a platform where whatever the developments are being done in CCRH, the researches are there, it reaches to the physician at their grassroots level, and so that he can also utilize the those medication or those things in a better manner for giving the better care to the his or her patients. Third, Ayush. When we talk of Ayush, I find H is missing. It's only in the word remains Ayush, but practically speaking, it is only Ayurveda and yoga. So I have spoken from many platforms. Again, I'm saying we have to create our own self. We have to have some kind of a lobby, which has been missing. Ayurveda has got a very good lobby. Allopathy has got, absolutely the pharmaceutical lobbies are there, which has been policy making. They have been influencing the governments to, make the policies according to their requirement. Like the vaccination has been happening, it is all because of big pharma companies. They have been forcing the government to, include those vaccination in their, health programs or health policies. Whatever they make, it comes in that. Similarly, we have to have homeopathy as a, they should be taken on certain issues. There was a time when homeopathy was being taken only for children, diseases or elderly people, which is not the case. Homeopathy has been actively, treating all type of cases and difficult cases also. Even in terminal cases like cancer and old CKD patients also, homeopathy has been working as a complementary medication where the patient, those who have not been able to carry on with their radiotherapy or chemotherapy because of the side effects, and once they have started with homeopathy, they have been able to tolerate the, chemo as well as radio. So it has helped the patient, going into, proper treatment and cure. As I feel very happy to share with you all that in 1999, I was the one who started the integration, in medication and healthcare. After that, only the Ayush and all that has come. So the integration is of, in medication and healthcare is the order of the day. When, as and when it is needed, one should not shun away from this, rather keeping any ego or hassle about allopathic. Why should we take homeopathic, or homeopaths taking, why should we take allopathy? There are times when we have to go hand in hand. We should appreciate and agree to those things. Now, we are another issue which has been coming is nowadays is the medical legal cases. Recently there had been a case where a homeopathic doctor was fined for a good amount of money, which he did not know how to do it. So we are trying to come out with a form HOMI. We are trying to put in the indemnity issue by making the all homeopathic doctors to have their indemnity coverage is there, so that in case there is any case against them, so they are being able to take care of by that insurance company. The most important part is we are lacking in publicity. We are lacking in the media coverage. Is not as often as it should be. And whenever we find the media coverage is there, it is for wrong reasons of homeopathy rather than for good things. So we have to make a collective effort to develop all these things in a more particular manner that we are able to showcase the beauty and treatment of homeopathy. The another very, very important aspect of private physician in homeopathy is we do not have any referral area. Like in allopathic, they have got AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, is the one center where they can send their patient, refer their patient, where they find it, the patient is causing some problem or the physician is not able to treat the patient properly. In homeopathy, we are lacking that we do not know where to send the patient, because sometimes we are ready to treat, we are treating, but the patient is not able to afford, patient is not able to, the compliance is not being done because of various reasons. But if we have got some center, where all homeopathic doctors from in this area, from Bihar, from Delhi, from Chandigarh, from also, if we are being like NIH is there, but still it lacks that kind of a referral thing where we are confident that if we refer a patient, the patient will be taken care of. So this is one area where homeopathic physicians find a lot of problem in referring. They at the most maximum they talk to their old seniors and all that they can do, but need of the hour is there. We should have some referral hospital or referral center for specifically. It can be done like those who are doing work with the cancer, they can have got a cancer center. Those who are doing with the kidney, they can have kidney. Like these type of referral places also, are required to be given over there. With this, I think the problem with Dr. Sani's explanation. I just wanted to share the personal experiences, what a common private physician of homeopathy faces. We would love to listen to more these things and to work out for both. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You depicted a very real situation of homeopathy faced by us, and please stay with us.
Yeah.
The discussion is continuing. The problems faced by private practitioners. Another eminent person is joining us, Dr. Anirban Sukul. He is having a PhD in neuropharmacology, Director, Sukul Institute of Homeopathic Research, Kolkata, Editor, Clinical and Experimental Homeopathy. Let me welcome Dr. Anirban Sukul. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Binduraj. Very good evening to all of you. First, I'd like to thank Dr. Sahani, Dr. Gupta, Gupta, and the other expertise that are now having our panel discussion. So I especially thank to Dr. Sahani for inviting me and for giving me the opportunity to speak for some time. So the topic, of course, is very burning and it's challenging because the practice itself of any homeopath is a challenge to every patient. The reason behind is that we do not have a single fixed medicine for a fixed disease. So because we do not have a fixed medicine, like say, for example, a fever, a patient comes with a fever. We have at least 50 medicines for fever we can give. But yes, for the symptoms, as it changes, the medicines kept changing. Now comes to the right selection of the remedy. This is totally dependent upon the patient, whosoever is depicting his or her symptoms to a doctor. Now, for some reason, if a single symptom is missing, the picture of the patient, the totality of the symptoms will be not very correct. So in that sense, there is a good chance that the remedy can be incorrect if that handling doctor is not so well experienced. Of course, this is not a big problem for senior doctors, for well experienced doctors, but yes, of course, as Dr. Sahani mentioned, that for beginners, it can be a problem. It is, of course, a problem for different other diseases as well, because we do not have any fixed medicine. So, to say the right, to depict or to tell you the right symptoms to a doctor is a very key factor for both the patients and the doctor. There are patients, I mean, that they cannot speak, like dumb. There are patients, those who are children, newborn babies, so they cannot speak you, even though you can speak a patient as a patient. There are so many patients we came across that they sometimes, for some reason, wish to hide symptoms. Of course, this is a symptom itself for a doctor, but they don't wish to speak out so forwardly. So this can be a chance to be for the selection of wrong remedy. Sometimes there are certain stigmas in their social life with the presence of their peers, maybe their guardian, their parents, or for someone who is accompanying that patient. So the patient wishes to hide from him or her maybe an incident that has happened to his life, the patient's life. As a doctor, we always wish to know all the incidents, maybe a mental shock, or that can be a cause of depression. So we wish to know what kind of mental shock the patient suffered. For that reason, the patient hides itself. So we are really missing a tremendous, strong factor which the patient's mind is concerned. So this can be a challenge itself. Moreover, establishing as a scientific therapeutic system, the homeopathy itself facing challenging each and every minute throughout the world. So it's not only the practicing, I as a scientist, we as a scientist always facing while publishing the papers, our public research papers in journals that are nowhere related with homeopathy. So those journals, we always face several referral comments that are really very difficult to answer as we from the homeopathic field. In the sense, not the difficult per se, but it's a challenge that what I somehow feel that this question is posed to submissive the effect of homeopathy throughout the world. So this is not the fact that homeopathy cannot be suppressed for any other potential factors, potential forces. Whatever the homeopathy, the therapeutic efficacy that it has, it will be there for years. Already 200 years we have crossed, and we have seen the efficacy of homeopathic medicines. I was attached with the Ministry of Public Health in Thailand. I am currently attached with the Department of Health from the government of Philippines, also in the government of Bangladesh. So 3-4 countries outside India, I'm quite little attached with. For the Thailand, I have been attached in 2012, for Philippines 5-6 years, and Bangladesh also. In 3-4 countries, I have seen the differences as far as their legal compliances with the homeopathic approach is concerned. This should not be. Whereas in other mainstream medicine, this is universal. Whichever the country, wherever you go, whatever the patients you are, you will have the same kind of legal compliances. You don't have to pass any kind of differentiation in the legalities as the countries differ. But in homeopathy, right from India, if you compare with Bangladesh, if you compare with Thailand, if you compare with the Philippines, the legal acceptance of homeopathy is different. And this should not be. For a doctor who is practicing worldwide, it's very difficult to maintain those, to legal aspects and practicing successfully for the patients. I have an opportunity to see a patient, to take a patient with Brian Kaplan at the Royal London Homeopathic Hospital. Nowadays, the name is changed. In homeopathy, there is, if you wish to have receive all kinds of symptoms, you have to provide a considerable amount of time to a patient. I remember we checked, we are 6 in the boards. I was one of them in the Royal London Homeopathic Hospital, and we checked around 2 hours. Can you imagine? We are sparing a time for a single patient for 2 hours. So this can be a drawback for a patient, for a system. So this can be a challenge on the other hand for a doctor. Because if you spend such a 2 hours for a single patient, of course, this has been possible because you are sitting in UK. This cannot be possible if you're sitting in India or in Bangladesh. A large number of patients, they're waiting for you to come for a chance to have a meet you for, say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. Because you cannot take that much of time, but you are bound to leave that patient after 5 minutes. This year, yes, you are done. Now you can leave this place and next. So this is, if you are whatever, I somehow feel that this is a compromise of the treatment, that we are not giving that much of time because of the time constraint of our clinic, because of the large number of patients that are waiting outside. So this is a fact. This can be a good challenge. But we are compromising with each patient. So of course, not exactly compromising, it may not be the right word, because we are successfully practicing. So all the doctors are very successfully practicing. But yes, of course, might be there are some, if somehow there is a incorrect selection, this might be a cause that we are in a hurry, always in a hurry to clear up our patients quickly. Now, I remember I tell you one incident. When I was in a meeting, I remember that meeting was ended somewhere around 6 hours, right? It started from 11 o'clock in the morning and it ended up in the evening. That was in the Ministry of Public Health in Thailand. The meeting with the FDA officials, Food and Drug Administration, that is homeopathy is under whose control is FDA. Outside India, wherever you go, homeopathy falls under FDA. The FDA is directly controlling the homeopathy, right? They are very, very strict, strictly with the American system of whatever. Now, I was in a meeting because we were to plant a homeopathy manufacturing in Thailand. That was long back. I'm talking about maybe 8-9 years ago. And at the meeting where we were giving the license to start manufacturing homeopathy. The FDA was giving a manufacturing license to us for manufacturing homeopathic medicines. This is very, I mean, I should say it's very remarkable. But somehow suddenly an FDA officer came into the meeting at the fag end, and he said, I came to know that lacacis is a medicine that is being produced from a snake's poison. This is very poisonous, that this has been given to babies or any adults. How could you give a snake poison to babies? Because I was quite prepared with all kinds of questions, because Thailand do not know, they do not know what homeopathy is at that time. So I was quite prepared with all that, not by the, with my lecture or whatever, with the speech, but with all documentations that what homeopathy is, because ultimately I have to prove it with the FDA officials. So exactly that only one question, you cannot believe that this, whatever the manufacturing license was given to us, it was taken back. I said, already you have given to us the manufacturing license to produce homeopathy medicines in Thailand. And they said, yes, we are taking back. We have given you, but now we are taking back because of this. So this is, as you say, as an industrialist, I have a patient there who is an industrialist, was backing all the funding, but they have their space in the SEZ area. So this was exactly the incident. And from there onward, I still remember somewhere I spoke to him, because I don't speak that much, because it's somewhat, I feel it's against the government, but this is fact. The government is not always correct, but this is fact, that the government of Thailand, they have taken the license back to, if in fact it's 8 years officials. So this is how can this can be, you can see how this is such a kind of challenge that we are, as an industrialist or the manufacturer of homeopathic medicines, is not only the doctors, whosoever is attached with the homeopathic, it's a large number. It's not only the patients, the doctors, patients, and the industry, the teaching. I must say that teachers are always facing. As a scientist, I always say, oh, as a patient even, as a doctor even, the patient sometimes says, doctor, their globules are dried up. You have prepared long way back after 1 month ago, and now it's been dried up. Your globules is small. I give 40 size globules, one to take one globule at a time, right? And how can one globule be such a good work? How can this can be so strong? So give me some strong one. I have taken 2-3 globules at a time. So see the perception of homeopathy and the perception and how far every way here we are here to practice. I am here to sitting for the practice, not by answering these questions, silly questions from the patient. But it's not the silly questions from the patient's point of view. It's a very valid question that how can such a small globule can be a cure of a large disease, a chronic disease, right? So these are the technicalities. I think homeopathy will never overcome these technicalities. This will remain a challenge for each and every doctor after 10 years, 50 years, or so on. Because this is a general, until and unless this is scientifically largely accepted throughout the world, not only in India. I know Indian government is supporting just like anything. So for the Indian is not a question, but yes, of course, the Western countries, particularly in Europe, in the United States, those countries are, oh, homeopathy. So, I have found something to catch up. Now I start throwing questions, whatever comes into my mind. So this is kind of thoughts around in the Western world towards the homeopathy. So this is a continuous challenge that we are facing. So it's not only by practice, by some other means to the scientific area, as I told you, that I cannot publish with non-homeopathic journals. Of course, we as a Sukkur Institute always publish to their experiments to a non-homeopathic journals. It is just because the challenge we are facing. I can publish to any homeopathic journal; they will happily accept it. So this is not my success or our team success, that they have been working so hard for the establishment of homeopathy as far as its scientific basis. And of course, it has been already created by not only the scientists from Sukkur Institute, but of course, there are so many other scientists that are nowhere related with homeopathy. They are the professors of immunology, professors of physics. Can you imagine a professor of physics is a scientist? They are working on the homeopathic dilutions. So they are not going into the biological part, to the animal models or the plant models, whatever, but they are working on the what is there in the dilution. So the structure behind. So they are working with the FTIR, they are working with the UV spectroscopy, they differentiate. Of course, we do. This is our current study that we are establishing the dilution, different kind of dilutions. How can we differentiate 30 and 200? So this can be, if we can answer that yes, by seeing, without putting a label, that yes, by testing, that yes, this is a 30 potency of arnica, and by testing, yes, it is 200 potency of arnica. If we can different, although we have already succeeded with by proving this, that we can differentiate the potencies. But yes, of course, it's been still challenging to differentiate the drugs. It's very difficult to say that yes, it is arnica, and yes, it is Borania. But we can differentiate the potencies in between of a single potent drug. So these are the continuous challenge, but yes, of course, I really congratulate Dr. Sahani that this has come to his mind. He is really tremendous expert, a great human being that I have ever met so far in my life. And so I respect him, and I'm putting my hands folded. Great respect, great regards to Dr. Sahani that he has come this to his scientific
Dr.
mind.
Sukul, Dr.
Yes.
Sukul, this is not my mind. This is the mind of the IFPH.
IFPH, of course. Thank you.
Don't give the credit only to me. It is the entire IFPH team who is doing these things.
Yes, of course. I congratulate IFPH, the team of IFPH, that they have come into this such kind of as a problem. And it's a big problem, and the problem will remain. It will not go for right now. It will not go in the next 5 years that we can rectify. It's very difficult for us to rectify itself, even though we are a very good practitioners. Even though after we have practicing so many years, but we cannot rectify this challenge. So the challenge will come. We will leave our challenge for the next generation. But yes, it's a challenge. But maybe someday, with the thought of the patients, thought of the peoples around the homeopathy, by the establishment of the scientificity of homeopathic, efficacy, that can be, I think, possible. So I thank you very much once again, Dr. Sahani and IFPH, the team of IFPH, for inviting me. And thank you very much for all other speakers that you have so nicely depicted the juice of your practice. You're the so senior practitioners. So I'm really thankful that I'm taking part into it, and I'm having their lectures. So thank you once again.
Thank you,
Good
Doctor.
day.
Thank you. And it's time to conclude the discussion because the time is already up for the next discussion in Malayalam to start. And
Dr. Binduraj, Dr. Beatrix had wanted to say something. I think you can give her the few minutes, 1 minute at least.
Doctor, please. Dr. Beatrix Dessner from Germany is joining us.
Yeah.
Doctor, please.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'm very happy to be with the honorable colleagues from India. And I would really I understand everything you told. I would like to tell you that in Germany we have a different situation, as homeopathy is part of our social medical system. It is paid by the private insurances. So it's more easy for the patients to come if they are private. And the other normal insured, they have to pay themselves, but it's more or less avoidable for them. And really, you are totally right. We have to train our patients to understand how homeopathy is working. And especially, they cannot come, I take one pill, everything will be cured. No, we have to explain. And I very often I say, if you have a disease of 10 years, we will need more or less 1 year to treat you well. So I'm honestly impressed how our German patients, they really understand homeopathy very well. It's always a pleasure for me to be with them. Also, I was teaching in Portugal, it's totally different. But our German patients, they really understand that they have to wait, to take time, to observe well. And so it's good news also for my country, but it's very important to enter the medical social system that could be in the next generation coming now, working on this. Dr. Sahani, always a great pleasure. Dr. Bindraj, Dr. Gupta, was very nice to meet you, all the other colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. And we need another session also just to conclude. We need a lot of persons are here to continue the discussion on this hot, very relevant topic. But it's time to conclude. And before concluding, I think Dr. Sahani will announce some more details about our celebrations, which is coming on September 20th.
I think Dr. Manoj will be the better person to speak something on this.
Dr. Manoj, please.
Thank you. And IFPH is all set to celebrate its 5th year continuous Zoom session. It is scheduled to held at 28th of September at Kochi, Kerala, in a 5-star hotel. So I invite all of you to kindly participate. And the registration fees is rupees 3,000 before 15 up to 15th of August. Then it will go to 3,500 after that. So it's a wonderful occasion, and it's always welcoming you. Or especially Dr. Beatrice Chestner, you should come to Kerala and should know what Kerala makes between the eye systems and how it appreciate. Once again, welcoming all you to our participation. Thank you. And once again, thanks for our presentation of participation in this session. Thank you.
Kerala is the land of the God.
Yes, sir.
Kerala is the land of the God.
And of course, we can arrange a small tour package if you like. Thank you.
Backwaters, oceans, and mountains is waiting you.
And
okay.
The colleges, the medical pharmacy, the colleges, Sardashna Medical College, I think Dr. Beatrice sir is very much impressed to see or interested to see that.
I had been there.
Yes, sir. Sure. You are the backbone of this IFPS. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so it's time to conclude. And on behalf of IFPS, I thank you all who presented here for this session. I'm not just going to mention all persons' name because the time is already up. So thank you. Over to Dr. Shaila for the Malayalam session. Thanks.